You are now entering the Queen's Quarters. We are powerful, strong, and rulers in our own right. There's a queen in you, there's a queen in me. Every woman is a queen. Welcome back to the Queen's Quarters. Woo! Thank you for joining us. Come on, go tag somebody, go run and get your friends and join us right here on the Queen's Quarters. Right now, it's time for the roll call. It's the roll call. First, I'm gonna start with myself. I'm the diva representing the 40s. I'm Queen Jock. Who's next on the roll call?
Hi, I'm Queen Emma, and I represent the 60s Plus Club.
Hi, I'm Queen T, and I'm representing the 50s.
Hi, everyone. I'm Queen Ty, and I'm representing the 50s Club.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Queen Tans here from the 40s Club.
What's up, everybody? I'm Queen Lady B, and I'm representing the Season 30s Club.
Hey, guys. I'm Queen 9. I'm representing the Early 30s Club.
Hey guys, I'm Queen Shay and I'm representing the Dove Club.
And there you have it. We are the Queen's Quarters. You may now enter in and interact with us. Okay, so at this moment, we're going to have tea time with T. So come on, Queen T, and let us know, what are we drinking on today?
Welcome, everybody. It is tea time with Queen T. And today we're going to have a beautiful cup of green tea. Now, green tea has a lot of health benefits. And just to name a few, it lowers the blood sugar level. It improves the brain function. It stabilizes cholesterol levels. And it reduces body weight. So go and get yourself a nice hot cup of green tea and join us. Let's see what's going on in Queen's Quarters today.
Yep. If you never drunk a cup of green tea, go grab you some right now and join us so we can have some green tea together. Now we're going to have our Queen Emma. She's going to have a moment from the past. It's February, so we celebrate Black History. So she's going to give us a moment in history. Go ahead, Queen Emma, help us out. Tell us who we're talking about today.
Thank you, ladies. Our Black History Moment features Eugene Goodman. Eugene Goodman is a law enforcement officer and United States Army veteran. He is serving as the acting Deputy Sergeant at Arms for the U.S. Senate in Washington, D.C. He is best known for his actions as the officer responsible for diverting the insurrectionists at the U.S. Capitol during the 2021 storming of the Capitol election. There is legislation pending to award Goodman the Congressional Medal of Honor. And on that note, we say congratulations to Eugene Goodman. Let's give him a hand.
King Goodman. Yes.
I don't know if Eugene Goodman is single, but I bet you by now he's not.
Yes.
You better believe
it. Throw that in there for free. So today's topic, everybody's ready for today's topic.
Yes,
today's topic, we're going to touch on family versus love life. Would you continue to date someone if your family or friends do not approve? Now, who wants to be first up to answer that question? Would you continue to date someone if your family or your friends do not approve? I think I want to hear from Lady B. She always giving us insight.
Okay, what's up, everybody? So it's funny that you start with me because I actually have dated someone that my family did not approve of. You know, my sisters were pretty like, okay, it is what it is. But my mom was not having it. When she met him, she was like, what? Okay, so the backstory to that is that he was like a street dude, if it's safe to say that. He was in the streets. And I was over it. I was like, you know what? I tried to suit it and boot it. I, dated this one and that one, the extra spiritual one. Let me just see what this brings. And long story short, he was a community boo. He wasn't just my boo. He was a community boo. So, but my mom, I loved him. I ended up falling in love with him, and my mom had a fit. Till this day, if he calls to check on me, she'd be like, "Who was that?" Nah. He can hear it back. He be like, "Oh God!" Like, it's just. And she also said something that it bothered me because I value what my mom thinks of me. So she was like, "You lowered your standards with that one," and that hurt. And that's when, even at that moment, I still didn't stop dating him, but I never forgot that. So eventually, of course, I'm single now, so I let it go. But yeah, so I've experienced that.
So going forward, would you do it again?
Love is love. Like, you know what? Let me rephrase that, because my son will be considered family. So I value his opinion. So we both have to be happy with whoever I date. But like, if I'm happy, like, she had every right to feel that way. But if I'm happy and you guys just have your own issue with him, that's not my problem. But if there's a reason, 9 times out of 10, your family, it's a reason why they don't like that person. They're not, well, at least my family, they don't just go around hating people. Like, it would be like, okay, we just don't think he's good for you. But if he makes me happy and my family just don't get with it, and my son is happy, yeah, I would date him.
So wouldn't that be awkward, like, to go into family functions? Y'all like to do a lot of stuff like in the park every now and then, Christmas, Thanksgiving. So would you be uncomfortable, or would you just meet up later for those events and holidays?
Well, that's a good question. I would just ask my family to just be respectful. You don't have to like somebody, but in my opinion, you should always respect them. And I live by that. Like, you cannot like me, but at the end of the day, you're going to respect me when I'm in your presence. So I think out of the love for me, even if they don't really vibe with him, that at the end of the day, they will be able to respect him enough to sit through a 2-hour, 3-hour family function until it's over. Like, oh, glad they went home or whatever. But like, during that moment, I think that they would, be, hospitable and treat him, with love, regardless of how they felt about him.
Queen, I want to hear from you. What is your take on this topic?
Well, my family, I love my family, I love my friends. And if they don't like someone, then that really means it's a problem with them, because my family, they always have like open arms. They love everybody, or they don't look to not love someone, I should say. So if my family and friends really don't like a person, that means there's really something wrong with them. But to answer the question, if I'm happy and I know God said this is the one for you, I'm gonna just keep rocking. But if my family tell me it's the reason why, and the reason makes sense, then I'll just let it go. So I do value what my family and friends say.
Queen Todd, let me know what's up in the 40s, the 50s. How was the 50s receiving this type of approval?
Wow. I can remember a time where I was dating someone. I was in my 20s. I was dating this older guy, of course. But my mom didn't approve, and I can probably see why, because I wound up moving out with him, and I was out on my own with him for a while, and it turned out to be not so good of a relationship. So I mean, your family knows what's best, but of course you're gonna have your own mind, and you're gonna do what you think is best for you. And I think experience is the best teacher. You can go on and do or not do what your family say. Because I've had another boyfriend that my father didn't approve. My father didn't approve, and my father don't say much about anything. So when he don't approve, it's a reason why. It's a reason why. But experience is the best teacher, and I've learned from both of those relationships. So I can say you're not always going to do what your family will want you to do. But again, like I said, experience is the best teacher.
Come on, Queen. Come on, Queen T. I know you itching to let us know.
You know I'm itching. I had like
I know
already
you
like a
itching.
million and one
Come on, let us
questions.
know. Let us know, Queen T. We want to hear from
Well,
you.
you know, I agree with Queen Ty that, you know, as a young woman, I've dated men that my family did not particularly like. And and when you look back, it definitely was, it had a reason. There was a reason behind it. Those relationships did not turn out well. Now, if I'm dating someone and it's my immediate family, I have to say, you know, like Queen I said something that was really important. What's your reasoning behind not liking this individual? Maybe they might not even be able to give me a reason, but they say, you know, I just feel something. It's just something about that person. So I would take that into consideration if I would continue to date that person. But when it comes down to me being a mother and having children, and if that my children did not like that person, it's a done deal. Like, I'm not dating that person because I'm not coming as a single woman. I'm coming as a woman with a family.
Come on, Shay. Your turn. I love to hear from Shay because she always give you the devil advocates part. She always tell you, yeah, I understand that, but this is what it should be. Come on, Shay. Let us know. I want
You
to.
know, you spoke that into existence because I really do feel like it's such a tricky situation, especially at the different phases of relationships. And family has a lot that comes with it. You know, you love your family and you want your family support and you want everything to be copacetic, but sometimes family members can be bitter and they don't want you to be happy because they're not happy. So everybody's opinion is not always valuable, you know, and you should not always have to take every single person's feelings into consideration. But when it comes to those core family members, when it comes to, you know, your children, if you have children, your mother, your father, your grandmother, you know, your guardians, definitely take those people's opinions into consideration, because like everyone said, there is always a reason. There has to be a reason. If you don't like him because you don't like his vibe, well, then we need to spend more time together. We need to sit down. We need to have a conversation. But if there's a reason that you know of, if there's something that you feel, something that you see, let me know. But that's dating. I mean, marriage we're talking about. I just don't want to be in an uncomfortable situation.
Right.
And that gets so exhausting after a while to constantly have to go around your family and go to events, and they respect him, or they you know, they're playing nice because, you know, they love you, but he's still gonna feel like the odd man out. And so I don't know. That's a sticky situation. I'm a sit down kind of person. Let's sit down and talk about it at this point, because we're not gonna walk around playing nice with each other. And then when you leave the room, child, I'm so sick of him being here, girl. Like, no.
That's exactly how it's gonna be.
Yeah, we gotta figure it out. But like Nas said, Nas brought up a great point. If God says that this is who I'm supposed to be with, then it's supposed to work, and he's gonna make provisions for it to work. So y'all gonna sit down. I don't care if I gotta lock y'all in a room. By the time I unlock the door, y'all better be hugging and y'all better genuinely love each other. But I don't know. That's just me.
Now, I have another question for Queen Emma. Now, I'm going to switch it up a little bit because you are a mom. You are a mom. So what if you're the one that don't approve of who your sons come home with to marry, who your son comes home with, and they're dating? Even, you know, you're close to Queen Ty and Queen, well, you're close to all of us, but you're like a mother figure to them too, to Queen Tans as well. So what if they bring somebody home and you don't approve? Do you pull them to the side? I mean, how do you interact with them to let them know, I don't know, because, you know, I don't feel that in my spirit?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't get into the middle of relationships that my children have. I'm there to support them if the relationship is good or if it goes bad. I don't, you know, years ago, one of my children was dating this young lady who didn't like me. She just was jealous of me. She just didn't like me just because it was a day that ended with the letter Y. She just didn't like me. And I had to let her know, I'm like, honey, listen, what you do for him, I wouldn't do. And what I do for him, you can't do. So as long as you're looking at it like that, it's not a competition to where I could like or dislike. If my children are with someone that they like and they adore, then I find all the good things about them. If they're a little crazy, I tell them, well, you know, she's wonderful. She's a little touch, but you know, if you like them, I love them. You know, I don't get into.
He's a little touch.
I don't get into that. I don't get into that. If God will allow you to have the spirit of discernment. If you're in a relationship and your relationship, all relationships is not always, oh, he's so wonderful, she's so wonderful. What happens is, as a parent, you know, your child get mad at Jane or John, and they come to you and they be like, yeah, mommy, I'm never going to speak to them again. I don't care what you say. And then the minute you say, like, yep, you know what? She ain't no good. And then she call him back and he be like, yeah, mommy, you was wrong. Even my mother said it. You know? So you don't get into that. And you just listen and you nod and you say, it's okay. You know, as far as myself, if I'm dating someone that my children don't like, it would depend. I'm like everybody else. It would depend on why. Because with boy children are a little discerning, you know. It depends on who it is and what they don't like about it. If there were times like, you know, years ago when I used to spend the night out, then if my children would get mad because, you know, I wasn't home when they called or something like that, you know, then that was a whole different reason as opposed to the person is not treating me right. Because I've never dated somebody who didn't treat me right. Because I don't put up with that. So I don't even wait for my kids to say, oh no, he's not treating me right. You're not treating me right, you got to go on my own thing. So I don't get into that. My kids, my children, if they're dating someone, if they like them, I love them. And if they don't like them, I just listen to them complain. I don't even go into like, yeah, she ain't no good. I knew that such and such a person was. I don't get into that, because the minute you get into that and they get back together, then it's like, yeah, my mother said, you know, and then the girl looking at you like, yeah, your mother really didn't like me from the beginning. And then the girl got an attitude with you. Listen, I don't get into that. No. That's my situation.
I love it. Queen Tans, come on in. Tell us what you feel on this.
I kind of went through that. Like, I was married, and my father really didn't approve of my ex-husband, so that was a little trying. Like, me and my father really had a moment because I didn't even want him to walk me down the aisle. It got like that. Yeah, so I got to a point where I was just like, listen, I'm gonna do what I want to do, regardless. Like, if you love me, you're gonna love him. And I'm not asking you guys to sit down and have tea and crumpets, but you just need to understand that he's going to be my husband. And nothing really deterred me from that. But I'm with Tracy on the children thing. As you know, I progressed, and we got married, we had children and all of that good stuff. Listen, the marriage was definitely what God deemed for it to be, because I got two beautiful boys out of my marriage. And I wouldn't trade them for the world. My life, I would give for them. So it was definitely meant to be. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. But I tell you now, though, in my dating selections, my children were the deciding factor. If my kids don't like you, it's a wrap. Me and my babies come together. We a clan. You hear me?
Amen.
We roll, or do we ride or die? My kids is my ride or die.
I love it.
Straight up. So it was literally a meeting, and it took me, I'll tell you, like, since my marriage, this is literally probably the second relationship, I think, where the children got to meet who I was dealing with, because I don't do that. I'm not into everybody seeing my kids and every guy I'm talking to meeting my kids. I got a little baby girl. Let me tell you, if anything pop off with my daughter that ain't right, I'm going to jail, period. I'm a woman of God. But let me tell you something. My children, I flip a switch. I really do. If anything happens with any of them, I go in straight protective mode. So for them, it was very important for me that they really liked who I was dealing with. And when I tell you my children hit it off with him, that's how I knew that it was like, ooh, I said, this is different. I wasn't really ready. I mean, Zoe, my baby girl was the deciding factor. She gave him all kind of tests, honey. It was hard. The boys was
Listen,
good.
that still happens.
Like, I don't know if I like you yet. You still got to do a few more things. So I mean, it came together though. But like at this point in my life and phase, yeah, my kids, man, family, my children, it definitely family over love if it had to be with my kids. But
listen,
now
that happens no matter how old your children become. Because when I was started dating my friend, my oldest son said, yeah, we're going to meet. We were going on a cruise. Reggie was like, oh no, we're going to get this together. We're going to see what's exactly going on. Like, I'm like, no, everything's cool. He's like, yeah, I'll let you know if it's cool, So that's still, still happens no matter how old they get.
Yeah. And you know how big Kai is. The cats come looking at him, looking at me like, wait, who that? I said, yeah, that's my son. So yeah.
That's it.
So Chance, I just wanted to reverse the roles though. What if it was what if you didn't approve of who your sons were dating?
You know what?
We didn't hear Jock answer. I'm curious to hear Jock answer. Yes.
So wait, John, let me answer the question real quick. Okay. So literally, I would fit. I'm kind of like Emma on that. My boys, I pray, I talk to them. I feel like I done instilled a lot of wisdom and knowledge and faith in them. So I'm gonna allow them to do what they got to do. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be praying hard in the background, and God will break that thing up if it ain't meant to be. So I'm gonna be good on that. I'm not gonna intervene. I'm gonna be there for them. Because I don't ever want them to feel like I'm not there for them because I don't like the person. So that to stop them from coming to talk to me about it. I want my babies to know they can talk to me about any and everything. Yes. So I never let them feel that they can't talk to me or that I don't like the person, so they wouldn't come to me. I'm a remain neutral. And the moment she do something she ain't got no business, I'm right here for you. That ride or die chick that's never gonna go nowhere. Your mother. So I'm here, and I'ma just always be here. And I've having like the few people that Kai dated, or Chris is a different brand. He ain't dating nobody. He player from the Himalaya. Chris boy.
Get that from his
That's
uncle.
my boy.
You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm with Queen Emma on that one. I'm gonna be here with him. I ain't gonna be too judgmental. I'm gonna be here for him.
What about baby girl?
Where you at?
You said, what about Zoe?
Oh, Zoe? Oh no. Now listen, that's different, y'all. She's my baby.
She ain't gonna have to worry about Zoe. Zoe is a life all on her own.
Let me tell you something. Zoe listened to me talking about love and all that. She said, "Ma, that's too lovey-dovey for me. I can't do all that." Like, no. It's gonna be hard. First of all, she gonna be the hard one to get any. It's gonna take them a lot to get through that. But then she got brothers. Then she got me, she got grandpa, she got auntie, she got too many people to get through for him not to be right. So I don't know. I might be a little protective over her. But even in that, I'm still not going to have it be where she can't talk to me about him. I always want her to be there for me and, know that I'm here for her, despite if I don't like him or not. I'm going to still be there.
And to answer your question, Tom, my parents was like, Queen Emma, they didn't get involved in none of our relationships. My sister, or my brothers. The only time they had to get involved is if someone was hitting on you or someone was disrespecting you, something like that. But my parents never got involved. So I have dated someone where they may have liked them first, but then something happened, like a situation may have happened, and they was like, no, this is not the one. So it was awkward bringing him around, doing things, family events, family holidays. So, but at the end of the day, I ended up with him anyway. So, it don't even matter. But it does matter if, my dad, my mom's deceased. So it does matter if my dad approves or not, because, you want your father to have that type of bond with who you're dating, and my dad is very open. He loves everybody. Y'all know that. He call everybody daughter and son so quick. So he, he don't judge people. He gets to know them. And if, they do anything to him, he makes his own assumptions of them. He don't go on what nobody else says. No one else says. So with that being said, I want to move to this question. Would you choose love over family? So maybe you're the caretaker in your family and you met someone, maybe dated someone, but that person lives in another state. So, and that person wants to start a new life with you. So do you move away or do you remain here to continue to be the one you're The one that your family depends on. So let me start off with Queen T. You tell me what you're thinking. Yes, you. You, the one that always got all the questions. I'm coming for you. So you let me know. What do you think? Do you would you move away, or would you just continue the long distance relationship? How would you react to that?
I'm out.
Oh.
I'm out.
Okay.
You know, you would call on me when I was entwined and doing some other things at the same time. And I was like, okay, what was that whole question? However, if I understood the part that I did get, if I fell in love with someone and I felt like he was the person for me, and not just the person for me, but we were we were married, because I'm just not going to uproot myself for just any old body. And we're married. Oh, because this is what we do. We're going to start our life. I got to live for me. I love my family. They can always come visit, and I'm moving forward.
Now, Jock, Queen Jock, you said, I might have missed the question. You said if you're the caretaker?
Like you're the one that your family depends on.
Right. Okay. Because I was so quick to say and like that earlier, but
like you have your mom.
I'm actually my mom.
So if you say, like, if the other two,
right,
say like if they didn't live here or they live far away, they live in Jersey, but they may live like an hour or two away in Jersey, but you're the one here taking care of her. So what if Ramon came up and like, I love you, I love your son, I want to marry you, but he lives in Georgia, he lives in Alaska.
That's yeah, that's a great question. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the caretaker part, because I'm actually a package deal, not just with my son, but my mom too. And I am my mom's caretaker. Yes, my other two sisters, of course, they help, but me and my mom were like this. She's my best friend. I do everything with my mom. So while dating, he would have to understand, like I've even discussed this before with guys I've dated before, like, oh, so yeah, if we get to marry, I need the house to have a section for my mom. Not that I'm putting that responsibility on him, but I just can't leave her behind. Not that my sisters wouldn't take her in, but again, we have that kind of relationship and understanding that even like right now we live in, we share a place. I have a big family. We've always done things like that. But even if I move, she's coming with me. So that has to be something that he just understands. And if not, he's not.
But what if she don't want to go?
What if she doesn't want to go? Mama, I tried. I'm a FaceTime you, Ma. I don't know what to say. I don't know. Now, if we got it all set up and she just don't want to leave, Ma, I'm a visit, but I'm out. And luckily, like I got my other two sisters, and they would just we'll have to just take turns checking on Mama. Because look, Mama, you lived. I'm trying to do what you did.
And Queen Jock, can I just add to that? Because that was the part of the question that I didn't hear. However, that's something that I'm big on. Like, I'm okay with having my mom come and stay with me, or his mom come stay with us. We understand that our parents are getting older as we are getting older. And hopefully that won't be an issue whether or not they want to go, or it may come down to a situation where they have no choice. But at the end of the day, that's something that I'm big on. Like, okay, if your mom need to come, I'm cool with that. Let's have that extra bedroom or whatever, or if my mom need to come, we should. I'm in a relationship with somebody that has to be understanding enough to know we might have to do that.
Okay, Queen Ty, come on, let me know what you think.
Okay, as everyone knows, I'm close to my family, and family is everything to me. I have ill parents, or we also have ill parents. For me, it's a package deal. It's a package deal. Not to say that, and I'm in the middle of thinking about moving as well. So if my father's slow on moving on everything. So I would have to move, and then he would have to see that I'm serious. And once I move, he's coming too, regardless. So it's not me moving and leaving them here or whatever, but it's a package deal. And they will have to understand. And not that I want to move in the same place, but they have to be close by me. They have to be close by me. So it's just a no thought about it. we're a package deal. If you can't take them, you can't take me. So that's how that is.
Okay, Queen, now tell us, would you relocate for love?
Whoever I'm taking care of, my family will come with me. So I would relocate in that situation.
You think your mom will go? I know your
My
sister.
mother,
I'm telling your mother.
and when it comes to my mother, yeah, she'll go. It won't be an easy yes, but it will be a slow yes, but she would go with us.
Queen Emma, being that you're seasoned, you give us some advice on what you think that we should do as ladies that are still dating, no matter what age we are, when it comes to family versus love. If you could just enlighten us on what you think based on your experiences, and just let us know.
Well, I come from a really large family. It's a lot of us. And we're very close. Just to give you some background, growing up, my mother it was 4 girls. Well, it was really 5 girls, but my mother has 4 sisters that we were really close. We lived on 7th Street on the 2nd floor. One of my mother's sisters lived on the 3rd floor. And on 9th Street, my aunt lived on the 2nd floor and another sister lived on the 3rd floor. And we all lived between the same 2 cross streets. So it was a lot of us growing up, a lot of us. And family is very important. So you learn how to adjust with family. You learn whether or not where you're going to put your family at. Now, recently, as you all know, I just recently lost my mother. But my mother was suffering from Alzheimer's, and my brother was her primary caregiver. So to be honest with you, if I would have to consider all of that when you can talking about family, how sick your parent is, how much your interaction is, like we were going to move my mother to Delaware, but because of my mother's condition, because my sister lives in Delaware, and because of my mother's condition, like when we took her for a visit, she panicked, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't know if stopping your situation, stopping your life, or, like it depends on the health of your parent, it depends on their mindset. As a parent, I would not want my children, if moving out of state, okay, so Terrell lives in Maryland. Then, everybody know Terrell was my ride or die. And, I miss him terribly, but I would never stop him from, he got a better job. He has a different, he just loved it down there. And he told me he's never coming back to Jersey. And as much as I hate to hear him say that, like, I'm not moving to Maryland. So, I had to learn to deal with that, so it depends. Every situation is different. And my biggest advice to all of you is don't etch it out in stone. Don't put it on the 10 commandment list, because you never know. You have to cross that bridge as you come to it. You have to deal with those relationships as you meet them head on. It's easy for us to sit back here now and say, no, girl, I ain't never leaving. You ain't kidding. Or, first thing, child, I'm out of here. Bye-bye. So long, bye-bye. It's easy to say that now, but you never know what happens when you're in that situation. So all I want you guys to do is to be open to either way, because you might miss your blessing being stubborn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was heavy.
Wow. Right.
What they do in the poetry clubs? Yeah.
Right.
But is
all
it
that
being
wisdom
stubborn? Is it being stubborn, or is it being like, I don't know.
Being a caretaker.
I don't know if you would
Yeah,
call
being
it
comfortable, taking care of who
stubborn,
you
or
need to take.
just being you don't want to. Maybe some people depend on that, being that one that everybody depends on. So if they move out of state or move out of that comfort, what will they have? I mean, of course you have
Technology is
your
amazing.
relationship. Don't get me wrong.
Technology is phenomenal. My sister and I are like stinking doodle. We are really, really close. You understand what I'm
Stinking
saying?
doo doo.
Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper.
We really close.
My God.
We talk to each other every day, several times a day. So the fact that she in Delaware, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that did not interfere with our relationship at all. I jump on the road or she jump on the road. Like, she'll come up and down to New Jersey, she living from Newark to East Orange. And I'll go down to Delaware, like it's from East Orange to Newark, Hillside. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So if distance is the thing that messes with your relationship, then you need to reevaluate your relationship.
Right. That's right.
Because nowadays it's too much. You got cell phone, FaceTime, Zoom. It's too many things that's going on that you can still have that closeness and not be sitting next to each other. You know what I'm saying?
And I do believe that you don't have to neglect your happiness all the time.
Exactly.
When it comes down to that, like, you don't want regrets. You definitely don't want regrets. So you really have to, no one can tell you what to do with your own life, but you have to evaluate the things that's in your life and what's best for you. But again, like I said, you don't want to have regrets.
Yeah. I definitely feel like you got to cross that. Like one thing Emma said, which I agree with, you have to cross that bridge when you get to it and make conscious decisions. Because I know for my mom, she never wanted us to leave her. She felt like we're leaving her. Like Emma said, so much technology out here, but we're leaving her if we leave out of the state. Mm-hmm. Now, my sister left out of the state and years ago, over 10 years ago, and my mother still talk about it. So, but because she doesn't want to uproot her life, it's like, do we stop our lives because she don't want to uproot her life? So my thing is this: my daughter's out of state. Eventually, I'm going to go out of state. And if my mother want to come, the door is open. But if she doesn't, it may get to a point where she's too old and I have to make that decision for her. And I'm going to do what I have to do. But at the end of the day, it's like the door's open. You can come and you can visit and all that stuff. But she's very stubborn. So I do understand sometimes when you're dealing with a stubborn parent or they're comfortable in their place, they may not want to relocate. So that might be a little difficult.
We haven't heard from Shay on this subject.
Now, I don't know. Being 24, it comes with freedom. I'm a free bird. I get to go and do what I want for the most part. But I do have younger siblings that I look after and that I help take care of and that I, shepherd in that way. And so I wouldn't, every young girl's dream or goal is to get married before 30 or, close to that age. But in the next few years, that's not an option for me to move out of state or to marry and move. Like I have to be stationed here because I have a 13 going on 14-year-old little sister, and I have a 16-year-old brother that depends on me for certain things. And so once they get to a point where they're in college or they're out of college, I'll consider it at that point, because now you're at the age to make those decisions and do for yourself, because that's when I learned the best life lessons, especially being independent. I was always independent, but once I was really out on my own and you step out and you do those things, that's where you learn the lessons that you need to learn in your adult life. So once they get to that point, I will consider it, because then I can do for them from a distance and they won't need me there. But because I'm a mother figure to them, I can't just say, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave and I'll see you guys later. Like, people ask me that all the time. Like, would you relocate for a job? No. Would you up and leave for a man? No. Definitely not. And it's not me. I don't see it as me putting my life on hold. And maybe that's me being too mother bear, but that for me, my priority is them and my nephew. And because I have a role in his life too, that I wouldn't just up and leave him, So, and even my older sister, she's older than me, but
You're the mama.
that's my girl. So I'm just not gonna, I'm not just gonna up and leave my family. Family is such a priority to me, and my family makes me happy. Seeing my family happy makes me happy. So I don't see that as my life being on hold right now. So in the future, I have years if God blesses me with that many. So I have time to experience so much life in my 30s. My life doesn't stop in my 30s. So, I have time.
That's right. It definitely doesn't stop in your 30s. I have a question though for everyone, or whoever wants to answer. What have everyone learned from a relationship that didn't work? What did you take back from it, or what did you get out of it?
Ooh. Wow.
That's kind of hard because you want to give your all to everybody. I would say you just take it one day at a time. Don't try to give it all at once.
Yeah.
Take it all.
Take your time.
Take your time. Yeah,
that's perfect.
When you give it all to them at once, they take it and run with it, and then you left empty. So yeah, take it one day at a time.
And really use your discernment in relationships. Because that comes with discernment, knowing how much to give, when to communicate, when to cut it off, when to let it go, so knowing the when of everything is super important in relationships. And just work on yourself individually before you step into a relationship, because then you know yourself and you know your boundaries and you know what you like, what you don't like. So when you're in that relationship, you're not figuring that out. They're not able to manipulate you. They're not able to take advantage, and vice versa. And you guys are good with each other. Yes, of course, you're supposed to grow in a relationship together, but you also have individual growth that takes place that only you can do. So definitely just take your time. Like she said, knowing the when of everything is super important.
I wish we had enough time to find out if someone's been in a relationship and their family didn't like them. I wish we had time for that one.
Coming soon.
Part 2, child.
Right. So okay, Emma is on mute.
Are you talking? Because you on mute.
I'm sorry. The thing is, you have to always be honest. That's really important. If you want to make any relationship work, honesty is truly the best policy. You have to always be honest, because whether they like what you say or you like what they say or not, at least you know. So honesty is really important. Take that into consideration.
And on that note, we thank you, Queen Emma, for closing us out with those wonderful wisdom of words that you always have for us.
Thank you, darling.
Everyone, you have joined and you have been a part of the Queenz Quarters Experience, where you know that there is a queen in you and there is a king in you as well. We thank you so much for staying in for the long haul with us this time, having this wonderful discussion about love and family. And we want to hear from you, right? So please email us at queensquarters@gmail.com. You can always go to our YouTube page as well. Make sure you follow us, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you put on those post notifications so when we go live, you know exactly when we come in on that screen and you can tune in. We want to hear from you. Once again, I told you we are here for you. Our next show and our next topic is going to be Q&A. Where are we going to get this Q&A from? We need you to come on in, give us questions so we can know and vibe with you and connect with you. We are here for you, the Queenz Quarters Experience. So once again, we can't wait to see you again. Queenz Quarters. Love you guys.
Bye.